Steve Bell on keyboards.
I'm probably the first time consciously. In the old days, my life was lived slightly different. I was focusing on the music, and then I performed. And after we performed, we were doing what we're doing backstage. And then I would be sleeping. I wake up at the next town, go straight into the place. And all I see is the inside of the dressing room, but I can catch up with all of this now. And there is a time for everything, And so now we're walking around in Colmar and having a great time and going like, wow, this is where I have been so many times, never seen this before.
Please give a warm welcome, Mr. Michael Voss, please. Make some noise. Good evening, friends. Come on, we want to see your hands in the air. Doctor.
The UFO time was my development time, and I was 17 years old when I joined them. And left the Scorpions when I was actually started recording with the Scorpions the first album, Lonesome Crow. That was my first period. It was the development of my guitar playing. I'm fascinated with the single string, and so it's the art of lead guitar with pure self-expression. That is where I'm coming from, and that's what I've been doing all my life. That was the first part of my life, all the way up to Strangers in the Night. Then I did Love Drive with the Scorpions. That basically opened the doors for the Scorpions for America, and I was able to, I was 23 years old. I had reached the highest level of fame and success as a lead guitarist, and I was able to make a fair decision to myself. I decided that there was nothing there for me up there that I wanted, and I really embraced freedom and doing things musically without being pushed or having to do things, etc. So I started MSG, Michael Schenker Group. That basically was the beginning, and I call it, the second part of my career or my life.
She walks up to me.
I did a lot of, focusing on self-improvement and stuff like that. I was very hungry or thirsty for, understanding more about life, about myself, etc., which, basically was the most important part of my life, the middle years, because they were teaching me everything that I didn't know in my first part. And with that knowledge, in 2007, all of a sudden I had that urge. I want to be on stage. I was always stage fright. I never wanted to be on stage. I hated it, So I took that as a sign that this was the time for me to be back in the loop of rock and roll. That was making it possible for me to enjoy the third part, which is now, since 2008. Right now I'm performing with Robbie McCauley, but you know, we are basically offering, shows with Gary Barden, with Robin McCauley, or with Dougie White. But the main thing we're currently doing is the Michael Schenker Fest. And, 90s, 2000, I played with singers that were not the original ones, you know. And then we had a gig, you know, a promoter in Japan, he went like, had an idea about Graham Bonnet with us. And so that's when it clicked. And I went like, wait a minute, this is what we need to do. And everybody was available, everybody was happy to do it. And it seems like they are all in the same boat with me. They're all celebrating, you know, their past as well, you know. And so you're putting it all together. You have the Michael Schenker Fest. Also, we are making currently a Michael Schenker Fest studio album. And so that will be a killer. We are almost done. We have a song that we just that we recorded ahead of schedule to use it as a promotion, with everybody singing lines of it, and we did some footage and recording and stuff. It's fantastic. It has been so much fun. I haven't laughed like that for a long time, and it's a great song. And so the album will be released in I think around February, just before we kick off for the US tour. I just want to celebrate. I just want to have a good time, you know, enjoy. Everybody in the band, we're all enjoying. We have all worked together, you know, in the past, and we're all happy to be back together. And basically, I think we're all just basically celebrating the era of rock. Many people are dying, you know, and I want to keep this alive, you know. It's the music I love. It's very soon, or sooner or later, I hope later than sooner, it's going to be just a memory. It's just the new generations are coming to the foreground, and they do things differently. And but you know, the era of Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, and stuff like that. That is where I'm coming from. That's my generation. The era of handmade rock. That's what I celebrate, and I want to celebrate and keep that alive. You know, until it's end for me, until I have to stop.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Thank you.